Okay, you're very much welcome to this very short video where I'm going to be showing you why you need to learn Excel, Power BI, and SPSS. I'm going to be demonstrating practical skills that you can be able to gain by learning these software packages. Now, a lot of people have had questions. There have been conversations about digital skills, digital skills. Which digital skills should I be learning at this particular point in time? Now, if you give me the next few minutes of your time, I would like to show you why these three packages that I've outlined is something that you need to invest the time and effort in order to learn in this 2022. Are you ready? Let us dig in. So, firstly, I'm just going to say a brief about myself. So, I'm Miracle Naji, and I'm a business analyst in a leading management consulting firm. And I've had over 6 years of experience in helping both organizations and individuals derive insights from data, leveraging both quantitative and qualitative based analysis. And I also have been able to transmit the same understanding, the same knowledge to other students, to over 700 students. And I'm the founder of Kenex Edu, which is a fast growing data analytics training and consulting firm that wants to help individuals and institutions to groom analytical talents for the next industrial revolution. And if you give me the next few minutes of your time, I'm going to be showing you practically what you need to do in order to improve your skills, in order to improve your earning potentials, and also be able to increase your employability. Now, what is this particular discussion for? Firstly, for professionals in no particular order. Now, professionals, this whether you are an accountant, an administrative clerk, a HR professional, an engineer, a finance analyst, then you definitely need the knowledge that you are going to be gaining through this particular session. Why? Because a lot of transformations that happened in the corporate world as a result of technology. So there are certain skill sets that are very foundational. Now it is very difficult to come across a job that doesn't require Excel, right? Then for entrepreneurs, this is very very useful. Number one is that this packages helps you to be able to derive insights from data, and with the insight it empowers you to make the right decision for your customers, for the people in your organization, right? And also it helps you to stay organized. By being organized, you are able to increase productivity, right? And then for the students and people generally within the academia, so lecturers, postgraduate students, frequent researchers, you're definitely going to find this knowledge very useful. Why? Because analysis is a very very key aspect of research, right? And the extent to which you're able to perform the right analysis will go a long way in affecting your research output. So students and academics will definitely find this session very useful. And then generally to all people that are unemployed, so either you just left school and you're looking for a way to get your first job opportunity, but it doesn't seem to be coming forward because everybody's looking for 5 years of experience. Everybody's looking for who is a whiz kid, who is a wizard when it comes to the use of Excel, right? So this session is particular for you, and I'll encourage every single one to please grab a pen and paper and then take notes where necessary. And also learning the skills for the unemployed people would improve your employability skills, and also it can also help you position you to be able to start up your own freelancing side hustle, right? So the these are the three packages that I'm going to be covering, and like I said guys, I'm going to be doing a step-by-step demonstration within the next minutes that you are going to be spending with me here. Now Excel is a software package by the Microsoft, and then for SPSS is a software package by IBM, right? And then also Power BI is a software package. Power BI is a software package for made by Microsoft as well, right? And it's a very 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 powerful tool for anybody that is interested in standing out in the job market to be able to learn. Right. So, firstly, I'm going to be talking to you about Excel. So, Excel is an all purpose package. Emphasis on the word all. That means there are a lot of things you could be able to do with Excel. There is really practically no limit to what you can be possible in Excel, right? From being able to use it to store data, to performing analysis, right? To doing visualizations and reports, right? There are a lot of things that could be done with Excel, and these days it is very hard to find a job that doesn't require a sound knowledge of Excel. So you are going to be shortchanging yourself if you don't know anything about it, if you are still oblivious of how Excel works. But not to worry, before the end of this particular session, you are going to definitely move from that zero level, from that novice, move out from that novice level in Excel, right? So there are many uses of Excel, just like I mentioned, but I decided to organize them into three key themes that I'm going to be discussing. And then number one, which is data management, and then tax management. Data management is all about being able to capture data and store up the data for future use. And Excel is one ubiquitous software package that is being used by individuals and organizations to collect and store up information for future purpose, right? So this information could vary depending on who is using it. So for a HR professional, will want to keep some employee records, and let's say for a customer relationship officer, the person wants to keep some key customer records, right? Now, Excel allows you to store up data in different formats. So, in different forms, both numeric, that is quantitative based data, and then non-numeric, that is those ones that are not quantitative, like their text and your pictures. You can be able to store this information in Excel and in what we call workbooks, right? Then for data analysis, data is information that is yet to be processed, right? So just looking at the data doesn't tell us that much until we're able to collect this data and analyze them to derive insight. So Excel allows you a plethora of functions and formulas to use to analyze your data, cutting across statistical based analysis and functions that helps you to be able to explore and sort through your data, right? And then also, depending on the field, right, it could also determine what kind of software packages that you're using. So for somebody that is in finance, what kind of formulas and functions would you be using? So for somebody in finance, right, financial related functions would appeal most to the person, like IRR, net present value, right, and the amortization and annuity. So these are the different needs that the finance personnel who is going to be using Excel to meet, right? So then there is also the part of reporting, right? So reporting now has to do with how are you able to communicate the insights that you've been able to gather. So it's not just to have information, but how are you able to transmit that information to somebody else? And increasingly, in the corporate world, Excel is one very much often used medium for generating reports that can be shared across the organization, right? And one way to be able to do your reporting correctly is through the visual communication of data. And we know that a single picture is worth more than 1,000 words. So without wasting much time, without talking so much, I'm going to be going into my Excel sheet, into my Excel software now, in order to show you certain things that you're going to be finding very useful, right? So stay with me. Now let's head to Excel. Yes, without wasting much time, now I'm going to be heading straight into the Excel, and then let's start doing some practical demonstrations. Now, this is the Excel. Now, like I said, Excel is a software package by Microsoft. Now, Excel is a software package by Microsoft, and once you open an Excel file, you have a workbook, and inside the workbook, you have different sheets, right? These are different sheets within the Excel workbook, right? Now remember we said part of the functions of Excel is that it helps for data management. Now here we can see a particular data set, and this is an employee records for this particular company, and here we see that it has helped us to be able to manage in one place the employee's name, the building the person works from, the department, the person's employment status, right? All of this information, right? And it's easy for us to be able to sort through this particular information to see a lot of things. So firstly, we can see here that this information has already been sorted from ascending order, right? So what if I want to see those people that their name starts with a Z? So I just come straight here and do Z to A, and then the arrangement is going to change, and we see here that we have an employee called Zimmerman Julian, right? So for employee database management, right? Another one is you can see customer record. So for this particular person, now he has used it to maintain the record of their customers, their names, their phone numbers, the street number, where they live, and their state zip code. Do you understand? And it can continue to manage the let's say the items that they purchased from the company in the past months, right? And then also that is database management. And then accountants, as for accounting and finance, here we can see the revenue projections, budget of this particular company, their sales, their gross revenue, and then you can see different analysis that computes the totals, right? You can see a function here, sum, right? So different uses, right? And then the other one we also mentioned is in terms of tax management. There are certain tax that can easily be managed in Excel. So for instance, now this is a results manager, right, which I created which I created for the school where I served during my NYC. So when I got into the place, I discovered that they were using manual processes to compute their results, and it was taking a lot of time. So what I did was to create an Excel sheet that automated the process. All we just needed to do was data entry, and everything automatically updates. So for instance, they will see here that this student scored 90. What if they scored, let's say, a 35 or an 85, right? Okay, so I'm just going to scroll up. Now what if they scored something that is not an A, right? Let's say they scored a 68. You see that automatically this whole thing updates and the score of the person updates. So with this, it becomes very easy to be able to manage those results, and I was able to do this in where I served at NYC and enjoyed a lot of privileges, right? Like I enjoyed a lot of privileges. Because of that, I was able to get my own laptop, right? And sometimes I was allowed to work from home because they know I can still deliver on my tasks anywhere, right? So if you are currently in your NYC listening to this, being very good at Excel is one way you can be able to stand yourself out, right? Now I'm just going to go back to the employee. Then again, another part of Excel is in terms of analysis, right? So you can analyze your data in different ways. You can decide to use some kind of numeric based analysis to explore your data to know what is going on, or you can decide to use visuals. Remember, a single picture is worth more than 1,000 words, right? I'm still going to come back to this, but now let's say what we want to do is to use some functions in order to be able to explore our data and know what is going on, right? One particular function one can easily use is what we call the filter. Now firstly, I'm just going to change this back to A to Z, right? One particular function one could use is filter. Now filter will help you to zoom into a particular information that you are concerned with. So if I put in filter and say that all I want to see are the full-time workers, so I can just click the drop down and select all, and then select full-time workers, right, and click on OK. It's going to isolate every other worker that is not full-time, right? And if I highlight, we see here that we have about 393 full-time workers in this particular organization, right? And I can sort by different I can sort by different criteria. I can decide to sort by full-time workers, and also not just full-time workers, but I also want to see the full-time workers that work in the north department, from the north office. So I can just click on north, and then it's going to isolate the data further, and you see that that has changed to 128. So Excel allows you to zoom in into a lot of information that you want to get, right? Then I can also apply numeric based analysis. Numeric based analysis. So for instance, now if I want to see the total full-time workers, I can click on sum. Sum is a formula that we use to sorry, not sum. Sum doesn't work on numeric, but I can do now. So let's say these their salaries, right? And I want to sum up their salaries. I can come to this place and highlight, and then I see that the sum of the salaries of people that work in that are full-time workers and work in the north department is 37,728,877 naira, right? There are a lot of other functions that I want to compute. So let's say, what if I want to know what the average salary is? The average salary, right? I do the same thing. We see that the average salary is 51,123, and guys, there are a lot of functions that Excel provides you with to do all of these different analysis, which we are going to be looking at, which you are going to be learning right now. This is just to give you a brief overview of what is possible in Excel. Then remember the last one we talked about. We said that Excel allows you to be able to produce reports that allows for communicating data, right? Now what if, let's say, you work in a company and your manager walks up to you and says that, okay, I need you to I want to know the different employees, I want to know the different salary by the employment status, the department that they work in, and the building that they work from, right? So I want to know what the salary spend is based on these different criteria. There are a lot of ways you could be able to approach this particular task, but one powerful way you could use is to use an interactive dashboard, right? And then just to give you a hindsight, this is what an interactive dashboard looks like, right? And quickly now, I'm going to be showing you how to create an interactive dashboard that will help you to achieve these tasks in a very, very excellent way that is going to make your manager very, very impressed, right? So now let's get started. Yeah, so want to do create an interactive dashboard quickly. So remember, I'm going to recap. Our goal here is that we want to see salaries based on the employment status, based on the department, right, and also based on the building that they work from. We want to create an interactive dashboard for it. Now the first step to creating an interactive dashboard is to make your the range of your data set, right, to be a table. Now the essence of making it a table is so that it is easy to update new information. So when new information comes in, I don't need to start creating the interactive dashboard again. I just need to make the update in the table, and automatically the update is going to be made to the interactive dashboard in real time. Now to make a data a table, you just click on the first cell within the table, and then you go to insert, and then you click on table, right? Now because I've already made this particular data set a table, that is why the table button is not activated. But if the table button, if I had not made this a table, the table button would have been activated. So good, that is step one. Now step two that we are going to be doing is that we are going to create a new sheet, and what we are going to call that sheet is employee okay, I'm just going to call it interactive dashboard. Yeah, don't mind my capitalizations, right? So the next thing I want to do now is that I want to give this particular sheet a different feel, and to do that I'll click on Alt HH. Alt HH is a shortcut for giving fields, right? And then the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to make this entire cell, I'm going to give it another field as well, I'm a navy blue guy, so I'm going to make this navy blue, and then I'm just going to call this employee interactive dashboard, right? And then I'm going to change the font face. I'm going to change the font face to Cambria. I'm going to change the font face to Cambria, and then I'm going to change the font color to white, right? And then also I'm going to change the font size. Let's try 25 and see what we have. Okay, so with this I have employee interactive dashboard. So the next thing I want to do now is that I will create charts, right? I'm going to produce charts that I'm going to use to populate my interactive dashboard. And to do that, I'm going to go back to my data set, and then this time around I will be creating what we call a pivot table. Now to create a pivot table, I go to insert and then I click on pivot table. Now a dialog box is going to come up to ask me if I want it to be in a new worksheet, I want it to be in the existing worksheet. I'm going to click on new worksheet. So a pivot table allows you to analyze your data quickly and easy, right? Then another thing I'm going to be doing now is that I'm going to make a copy of this pivot table. But firstly, I'm going to call this one salary by department. Great. Then I'm going to make a copy. I'm going to make a copy or create a copy, and once I've created a copy, I'm going to call this salary by employment status. Then I'm going to make a copy again. Remember, we want to see 3 things, right? I'm going to say create another copy. Good. Now I hope you're following. So if you have your laptop, you can also go ahead. So this time around, salary by building location. Great. So we have all of this now. So we have salary by building location, salary by employment status, right? And where is the last one? Okay, salary by department, right? So good. Now the first thing I'll now need to do is to start my analysis. So I'm going to first get my salary and put it in the values field, right? You see that the total salaries has appeared, but then I want to see the total salaries by department. So I'll grab department and I'll take it to the rows. Now we can see that all the different departments and their total salaries paid to that department has appeared, but currently it doesn't tell me much. So first, another thing I want to do is that I want to sort it by ascending order. So we see the lowest department is research and development, then followed by ADC. Now looking at this whole data could be stressful, right? Because I'm trying to make sense out of these numbers. Now an easy way I could do this is to create what we call a pivot chart. Now to create a pivot chart, I just need to go to pivot chart, and automatically Excel is going to give me suggestions of charts, but I don't want a column chart, so I would want a bar chart. Now I click on the bars and I say okay, right? And then the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to do some kind of edits, and for me I'm going to change I'm going to add what we call data labels, right? And I'm going to create data labels, add a data label, and then the next thing I want to do is that I want to change the formatting of this sheet of this of the chart, make it Cambria. Now good. Then the bars as well, I want to give it a different feel, right? Then I want to give the chart a title. Now the chart title, what are we calling it? Salary by department, right? So another I usually don't like grid lines, so in my chart, so I take off the grid lines, and then we are reasonably done with this. So I'm going to click on copy, and then the interactive dashboard that I've created. I'm just going to paste. Right, so let's just paste it for now and keep it and create other ones. I'm definitely going to come back to do some editing here. So the next one, so we have salary by employment status. My spellings. So we have salary by employment status, right? Before salaries by employment status, we also have salaries by building location. So let's do salaries by building location. So same thing, drag building to rows, and then you drag your salary to the values field, right? Now we drag our salaries to the values field, and same thing, I want to sort this time around. I want to sort it by ascending order. We see that the north wing of the office, that's where we spend most of our salaries, right? Then the next thing I want to do again, same thing, create a pivot chart. Automatically you get a suggestion, and then you click on OK. I'm going to add data labels, and once I add data labels, I can take this off. I can take this particular one off and remove grid lines, and then same thing, let's edit our chart. Let's edit our chart. Oh, sorry about that. So Alt H. So let's edit our chart. Right, so another thing we want to change, the, now give it a chart title, salary by building location, right? Change the, okay, great. Now reasonably we've edited this, so we say copy, and then I head to my interactive dashboard. Great. Now I'm just going to copy this by the side. Not to worry, we are going to still do some editing. So the next we go back to salary by employment status. Now salary by employment status, same thing. We do same thing. So we go to look for status, drag to the rows, and the salary as well. We'll drag it to the values field. Right, now this time around I want to create a different chart. I want to create a pie chart, given the fact that the data have fewer categories. So I'm going to click on pie chart, and then I'll click on OK. But I don't like this chart color. It's giving me so many colors, and I really don't like so many colors. So I'm going to change the color scheme. So I'll go to colors, and I'll just want to give it different shades of blue, right, so that it's looking nice. Then the next thing, I want to add data labels. But this time around I'm seeing so many figures and it's pretty hard to tell what is going on. So maybe I want to change that so that I can see the percentages. So I'm going to give it a data callout. So we see here that full-time workers takes up more than 50% of the salaries that is paid, right? Then I want to give the chart title as well, salary by employment status. Salary by employment status, and then I'm going to change the fonts, right? So I'll copy this, and then I'll go to interactive dashboard. Now I'm going to paste it beneath. I'm going to paste it under here. Now next thing I want to do is to make my edits. Now it's always very good to keep your dashboard very clean. Excellence, my friend, excellence. So your alignment is very important. So here my eyes can deceive me, so I'm not very sure that this is aligned. So what I'm going to do is that I want this particular chart and this to be aligned at the top. So I'm going to go to shape format, and I'll say align top. You see that Excel will help me align it properly. Then I can also come here and align this to the bottom as well. So align bottom. Now everything has been aligned. So I'm going to make sure that this one as well is aligned with this. So shape format, I'm going to say align left, great, and align right. So perfect. Now we have our mini dashboard. Now mind you, you could have several visuals in this dashboard and you could play with the design however you want, but this is just a quick illustration. But do you notice one thing, that this is just a static dashboard? It's not interactive yet. So what if I am just concerned about people in IT department? I want to see how the salaries paid to the people in IT department, and also how that spills into the locations, right? So I'm going to add what we call slicers. Now to add slicers, I go to this pivot chart analyze and I click on slicers. So it will give me an option of what I want to slice by. I want to slice by employment status, department, and also the building location. So I'll click on OK. The slicers appear. Now I'm going to just drag the slicers to the side, just so that everything is looking nice. Drag the slicers to the side and align them. Great. Now great. Now the next thing you'll notice now is that, what if I come here and say, okay, I want to see human resources department? You see that automatically this particular data set changes, and we can see that those in, let me just make this more legible. We see that those in human resource department, their total salaries is about 53,000, 53,003. So we see the salaries of those people within the human resource department, that is $533,190 right? So what if I want to see human resources and IT? Automatically it updates itself and we see IT and we can do a comparison, right? But I know already we are wondering that why is only one chart changing, why are the others not changing? That is because we are yet to connect the slicers to all of the different charts, right? So to do this, I'm just going to go to each of the individual slicers, and starting with this particular one, I'm going to connect report connections. I'm going to connect the two pivot charts that we have already, and once I click on OK, you see that it starts updating. It now updates on all of them, and I'm going to do same for department. Report connections, click on OK. That is connected as well. Now I'm going to do same for the last slicer, connect all of them, right? So what happens now is that if I go back to same human resources and select human resources, it impacts on all of the charts. That here we can see that the people in human resources department, now this is their salaries, right? And also this is their salary. Now this particular information gives us the salary of people in human resources department that are full-time workers and also are working from the north department. You see that this time around, their salaries has come down to 110,540, and we see the same thing. This particular building location only gives us those that are human resource department and then they are full-time workers. If I add another, you see that updates as well, right? What if, so there are no half-time workers. Now what if we select contract? You see that it has updated itself. So this is an interactive dashboard. If I add in another this thing that I want to see, the same thing happens, it adjusts itself. If I add in manufacturing, you see everything automatically adjusts itself. With this, I can just be able to share my interactive dashboard with my manager, and it will allow him or her to see see the particular information from different ways, right? And then another thing I'm just going to might just do last is to hide all of these other cells, hide all of these other sheets rather. So hide, 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 hide. Okay, right. So hide all of these other sheets. Great. And I can come to view, remove headings, right? And great. So you see, this is our dashboard, and I can share this with my manager, and you can see that by doing something like this, you see that you stand out as somebody that knows how to communicate information efficiently, right? Another thing I could do is that I could just come by the side and then add some notes, right? So I can create a note, a box by the side where I'm going to do some notes that, okay, salary of the of total salaries is A, B, C, D. So just a note that could give my manager some initial information that I want to communicate. Do you understand? And you can do this with several different charts, right? So Excel is a very, very powerful tool that you just have to learn. You cannot do without learning it, right? So now I'm just going to go back into my presentations just so that I talk to you about Power BI. I hope you found that particular hands-on session very helpful. So now talking about Power BI, right? Power BI is an interactive data visualization software. So it's also owned by Microsoft, and the adoption rate of Power BI is massive, right? That over 60,000 companies around the globe now use Power BI. No, I'm not, I kid you not, now use Power BI. And on the average, on LinkedIn, you find about 28 different job listings on LinkedIn for Power BI professionals. So people that are skilled in Power BI increasingly be sought after. Why? Because Power BI presents a lot of opportunities for businesses on how to manage their data, analyze the data, and create reports based on the data, right? So there are several uses of Power BI, but I'm just going to highlight 3 aspects that makes Power BI to stand out, and that is on connecting to multiple data sources. Now the truth there is that because as businesses grow, as organizations grow in scale, right, their data will be sitting on different repositories. So on desktop softwares, in websites, in cloud-based platforms, databases, right? Being able to connect to all of these data sources and bring it to one particular platform integrate them into one particular platform for analysis, it was a challenge before. But with Power BI allows users to be able to connect to data sources from over 1,000 different sources, right? You can get data from Excel sheets, from Oracle databases, from SQL servers, data vars, even on PDF. Let's say you have a bank statement and you just want to pull out the table. So instead of just copying the tables and pasting in Excel, right, you can connect straight to this data in that PDF, right? Now that is what Power BI allows you to do. So it brings all this data into one particular platform, and then you're able to analyze this. If you stay with me, I'm going to be showing you how you can do all of this in Power BI. Then also for advanced dashboarding and visualization, you see all those plenty steps we went through in Excel just to create a visual dashboard. In Power BI, it's just a matter of drag and drop, and you get your results. And Power BI allows you choice of choosing from over 500 different charts, right, that are supported on Power BI. And another advantage is that when you're able to create reports based on using Power BI, it's easy to share them because Power BI have several products. So there is Power BI desktop, there is Power BI service, there is Power BI mobile, right, that allows for interactions across board, that you can create something on Power BI dashboard, and with your Power BI mobile you're able to share it. Let's say you are stuck in traffic and your manager calls up to say, okay, please, I need this particular report, and you can use your Power BI mobile to share it if you had created it on Power BI desktop and published it. Right now, the next one is advanced functions for data analysis. Remember, in Excel, we looked at different functions and formulas that we can use to achieve certain things. Right now, the same way that Excel provides you with functions, that is the same way Power BI provides you with different functions. But this time around, it's performing those you're using those functions to analyze tables and columns and not cells like in Excel, right? And one particular feature in Power BI that allows you several functions to analyze your rows, to analyze your columns, to analyze your columns and your tables is what we call the DAX. And there are over 250 different functions in Power BI, from averages to counts. You just name them. There are so many of them that can help you to achieve a lot. So Power BI is a very, very, very powerful package that is important for you to learn. Right. So without wasting much time, remember I said I don't like too much talk. I like to show. So I'm going to head straight to my Power BI. Now it's very, very easy for you to download Power BI. Power BI is very, very easy. So all you just need to do is to go straight to you can go to just go to download Power BI, right? Yeah, and the one you want to download is Power BI desktop, right? And you can just download it straight from Microsoft website. You can just download it straight from Microsoft website. Great. Now you are going to go to download Microsoft Power BI, right? Now for desktop, you go to download Microsoft Power BI for desktop. Oh, no, I don't want to open Microsoft Store. Nope. So go to my Power BI, download Power BI desktop. Is going to open a new field for you. My network is messing up. My network is messing up. My network is messing up. Right, let me go to advanced download. So you just go to advanced download options. Now my network. Great. So you choose the language that you want to download from. You check your system requirements, Windows 10. If you see whether your system meets all those defense requirements. Now automatically the one I want to download is Power BI desktop 64 for a 64-bit system, right? Now I'm just going to click on it and click on next. That's all, just what you need to do, and then you are going to download the software. Quick and easy, right? It's free on the platform, but because of time, right now I'm going to go back to Power BI. So I have Power BI already installed, so I'm just going to head straight to Power BI, and once you click on Power BI, this is what you get. Now I'm just going to close this box. Now this is what the interface looks like, but now I may not be able to do anything because I don't have any data loaded, right? Remember I said you can be able to get data from different sources. Now these are different sources of data where you can connect to. So you see Excel workbook, Power BI dataset, data flows, data vars, SQL server, and we are still seeing more. So there are a lot you can connect to, but this time around I want to show you how you can be able to pull up data from a website, bring it to Power BI, do some kind of data cleaning, and then you can start using it to analyze your data. So I go to web, or click on web. Now so whilst the dialog box is coming up, it's going to give you a dialog box for you to select the put the URL where you want to get the data. So I'm going to pull up a URL now. So I'm going to say Nigeria GDP by state, right? Now once that comes up, I'm going to open up Nigeria GDP by state. So the information I want to pick is this table, right? Because I don't want to pass through the stress of copying it, I'm just going to go here and copy the URL, and then I'll head back to my Power BI. You see that a chat box, a dialog box will come up for me to put the URL where I have the data. So I'm going to paste, and then I'll click on OK. So depending on the strength of your internet, of your network, and the processing speed of your laptop, Power BI is going to bring up for you the list of tables within that particular website. Are we following? It's going to bring up for you the list of tables within that particular website. So it's going to take a while. Now it's loading, and if there are several tables in that particular website, it's going to bring out a list of all the tables in the website for you to choose which table you want to use for analysis. And by this, within this right pane here, you can be able to view. So let's say I think mine is on table 4. Great. Table 4, right? We see the data has automatically come. So if I'm okay with the form, I can just click on load, and immediately it takes it to my canvas for me to start analyzing. But if I want to transform the data, which I would want to, I'll click on transform data. So automatically Power BI is going to open up what we call Power Query. Now Power Query is a powerful tool in Power BI that allows you to be able to clean your data. And good news, later versions of new versions of Excel. So I think if your Excel is up to like 2016, you have Power Query in your Excel, so you can call up Power Query directly from your Excel. So what do I want to do? So you see here that this particular GDP is carrying a non-numeric value, which is this US here, right? So I would want to cut out that particular US so that this is a numeric value for me to now analyze. To do this, I'm going to just highlight this particular column, and I'm going to say split column. Now I'm going to split by number of characters. Now I'll split by number of characters, so I want to split by 2 characters as far left as possible, and then I'll click on OK. You see that automatically this data has been split. I don't need this guy again, so I'm just going to delete, remove. So in this particular place, right, you'll be seeing all the different steps you've performed in Power Query. If you want to change any particular step, let's say I want to reverse the column that I removed, I'll just cancel it, and then it comes back, right? Good. I'm going to remove this. Now with this is the only cleaning that I want to do. There are several cleanings. All of these things are different tools that allows you to clean your data in different ways depending on what you want to achieve. So I'm done here, so I'm just going to close and apply. So I'm just going to close and apply, and the data is going to be loaded for me in the platform so that I can start my analysis. Okay, so it's loading. Remember I said depending on the speed of your laptop, that is what will determine how long it's going to take for you to achieve certain tasks. So it's loading. Once it's fully loaded, you see the table, it's appearing, will appear to this right pane here. Great. 36 rows loaded. 36 rows loaded. Working on it. So let's just give it a few seconds, right? And also when I go to this particular place, perfect, our table has been loaded. So if I come to this place, I can be able to see the table and the different columns within that table. So here we have one table, so you can have multiple tables depending, maybe you pulled the data. So when you bring a data set, the Power BI considers it as a table, right? And within that table you have different columns, right? So these are the columns that we have in this table. We have 3 columns. We have GDP, we have rank, and we have state, so we can see our data. Now I'll go to this particular place. This is where the magic happens. So here again I'm still seeing the different columns that I have. So here is where the magic happens. Remember I told you that it's just a matter of drag and drop. Now I want to create a chart, and what would that chart be, right? So that chart, I would want to take my state to the x-axis, right, and then the values will be GDP. Great. So you see, we just drag and drop. Now I didn't have to arrange in ascending order or descending order. Everything has been arranged quick and easily for me, right? So this is this particular chart. which we got from the website. We got from a website. So we can see here that Lagos State has the highest GDP, and then Zamfara State has the lowest GDP. I created this chart in just a matter of seconds. So all those create pivot charts in Excel, that all those long processes, we were able to do it quick and easy. And you can see here that you have several charts to choose from, right? And a lot of things you can play around with in Power BI. So it's a very, very powerful package which I really encourage you to explore. And if you're confused and you are wondering how can you be able to get started in Power BI, just stay with me, give me a few more minutes of your time, and I'm definitely going to be showing you how. So this time around, I'm going to be going back to my presentation, and the last software package I'm going to be talking to you about is SPSS. Now, many people may not be familiar with SPSS, but SPSS is a powerful statistical package, especially for performing deep high-end statistical based analysis, right? And one thing with SPSS is that it allows you to work on especially survey based data. So let's say you work in the developmental space where you usually go to do monitoring and evaluation, you administer questionnaires to people, and then you collect feedback. Or you are within the academia, you're a lecturer, you're a final year student, you're a postgraduate student, then SPSS is a very powerful package for you to learn. Let's say you are even in the social sciences, right? In fact, the formal name for SPSS is statistical package for the social sciences, right? Because it developed out of social sciences to help social science researchers to be able to analyze their data, and a lot of things you could be able to do in it. So firstly is data analysis. So SPS provides you with a range of statistical tools for performing data analysis, especially scientific based investigations, right? So with SPSS you can do descriptive based analysis, both graphical and numerical. So graphical based like using charts, right? And then in SPSS as well, you can do numeric based analysis like your mean, your median, your mode, and the rest of them, right? And you can also do inferential analysis. Inferential analysis where you are trying to make generalizations. You do things like your chi-square, your Pearson correlation test, your regression analysis. SPSS makes it very easy for you to do this with just drags and drops, right? And then also it's very, very suited for handling survey data. That in Excel you can be able to code the different variables that you have in your questionnaire, right? It makes the process very, very easy for you, and then it provides you with a plethora of statistical tools to use. Now, for most people, it could be challenging to know what to do with those statistical tools if you don't have the background. But one thing I've tried to do is that both in the form of an ebook and in the form of a course, I presented those statistics part, understanding of concepts that will help you to be effective in SPSS in a way that even somebody that doesn't have any background in mathematics, like when I mean no background, zero background, can be able to flow with it. And if you stay with me for some more minutes, I'm going to be showing you how. Now, again, another practical demonstration. So I'm going to head straight to my SPSS software. Now, I had started something already, so I'm just going to delete this so that we are all on the same page. We are starting up from the scratch. Now, when you open your SPSS has three different windows. There is what we call the data view. The data view is where you get to see your data entries, and then you have the variable view. The variable view is where you get to code what is going to be in your data view. And then we have another view which you are going to be seeing, which is the output view. That any particular analysis you do within your SPSS software, it gives you the results in your data view, right? So now let's imagine that we have a questionnaire, and in that questionnaire we have, let's say, about 3 questions that we have asked, and one of the question is gender. So what is your gender? So gender is a what we call a nominal variable, right? So we don't need decimal places because the value we are going to be getting is categorical. So now I'm just going to give it a label, and there are rules for naming. So in names you don't give spaces. Let's say gender respondents, for instance. If I click on OK, it's going to give me an error response. Why? Because it can only be one, it's no spaces. But if I want to give it to words, I can use an underscore and say respondents, and I won't have any error. But gender works fine. So gender works perfectly well. So the next thing I'm going to do now, I want to give it a label and say gender of respondents. Right now, remember, a person's gender can either be male or female, and the thing with SPSS is that it doesn't perform calculations on text, right? So if you have a text that you want it to analyze, then you have to give numeric values to it. So let's say I want to represent one male with the dummy code 1. I will add, and then I want to give female 2. Now, this 1 or 2 is just a dummy code for something to, it doesn't mean that 2 is higher than 1, but it's just something to help Excel to recognize the values, right? Then another thing I want to do is the measure. The measure is very, very important. Now, the measure is what level of data measurement are you dealing with? And in the course I developed, I had explained and helped people understand the different levels of data measurement. So ideally, we have 4 levels of data measurement. We have the nominal level, we have the ordinal level, we have the ratio level, we have the interval level, and we have the ratio level data. Now, in SPSS, the ratio level and the interval level data, which are quantitative based data, are categorized into scale, right? And categorical data like gender, let's say department, is called nominal, and ordinal is one that introduces rank like strongly agree, and the rest of them. So I'm going to, what is the scale? The scale is going to be nominal, right? Another one I want to do is that I want to add an ordinal data. So let's say maybe our data was focused on brand assessment. Let's say, do you like, okay, so it says, let's say we ask is so let's we give it a name. Let's say question 1 that we asked, right? And then the question we asked for question 1 is Coca-Cola the best beverage brand? That's the question we asked. And then the values we had were different scales: agree, strongly agree. So let's have a 1 for strongly disagree. We add and we give 2 to strongly agree, right? And we give a 3 to let's say medium, for instance. Then let's say we give a 4 to agree, right? And then a 5 to strongly agree. So we click on add and we say okay, right? So what measure is this? This is an ordinal measure. You don't need to care about input. So when we go to our data view, we see here that we have gender, we have samples, right? But nothing is happening. It doesn't look like anything is happening. So what I need to do now is that when I pick a questionnaire, let's say I'd administered, let's say 10 different questionnaire, I pick a questionnaire, I want to take record of the gender. So I'm just going to come here. Remember, I'd used 1 to represent male, so I can just throw in 1 here and male shows up. Let's say the next guy is female. I just do that, use that to fill up my data. Remember this. Okay, the next one male, the next guy is female, the next female, again male, female, right? Now I go to questions. So let's say the first guy say, ooh, no, I'm not the cook, I'm the cook guy, right? The first guy says, okay, I'm the cook guy. Wait, let's check our values again. I think we mixed things up. Let's see. No. Let's see. Okay. Strongly. So this should be strongly disagree. So this should be strong. This should be disagree rather, not agree. So this should be my mistake. So it's very good to always go back and cross check so that I don't make mistakes. Great. So I've changed that and I'll click on okay, strongly disagree, blah, blah, blah. Great. Now we go back to our data view. So let's say the first guy disagrees. Yeah, the first guy disagrees. Second guy, okay, disagrees as well. The next guy, no, I'm a Coke fan. Strongly agrees. I'm a Coke fan. This guy, yeah, I don't know. So the other guy disagrees. The other guy strongly disagrees. Blah blah blah. Disagrees. Right. Now we have this particular information. Remember, you could have several questions that you've asked. The process is pretty much the same. So once I have data, there is a lot that I can do, right? That you can do both numeric based analysis, you can do graphical based analysis within SPSS. Now if I go to analyze, I will see several analytical tools that I want to do. If I want to do, let's say, a chi-square test, I can go to tables and do I can go to my descriptive analysis and do cross tabulation. I will do an independent chi-square. If I want to do just perform some descriptives of, let's say, I will select the variable that I want to use to create the descriptive. Let's say I want to use both of them to create descriptives. Now I'm going to see, it's going to give me options, right? Now these values that I have are non-numeric values, so I cannot be able to do standard, I cannot be able to do range, those variances, right, because they are not numeric. Now what I'm going to do to analyze this particular data is that I'm going to go to analyze and I'm going to create frequencies. Now I'm going to drag these two into this particular field here, variables, and I'll go to statistics. Right, now I'm going to go to statistics, right, and choose which of the statistics that I want to do. So if I want to sum up, but I cannot sum here, but I'm just going to click on OK and continue. So once I click on OK, it's going to run the analysis and bring it up in the variable view. Remember, we said the variable view is where your output. So now you see here that we have another view called the output view. So this is where you see the result of your analysis. So you see automatically SPSS has analyzed this data for me to say, okay, male, we had 5 males and we have 5 females, and that corresponds to 50%. We had what is it called? We had, okay, 2 people strongly agrees, 4 people strongly disagrees to this particular information, and I can easily copy this thing and paste it, let's say, in a Word document, for instance. Go to open up a Word document and paste that particular information there. And also you can be able to create charts. So I can go to chart builder, right? I go to chart builder. Let's say I want to create a pie chart, although the thing with SPSS and charts is that they are not looking nice. They're not very nice like the Excels and the Power BIs. So it's taking a little bit of time to happen. So what I just need to do now is to drag the value that I want to create. So I want to create a pie chart for gender. So here I can see the pie chart is loading up. So it's still running. So once it's done, you see that our chart has appeared, and I can be able to automatically, I can see that it's 50%, right? So with this, you can be able to create your charts. You can be able to do a lot of analysis, like even inferential analysis, your chi-squares, your Pearson correlations, your regressions. So for instance, going to analyze, you can see a regression, and you see a plethora of different regression analysis that you can be able to perform, right? And this for many people, this could be challenging. But how do you get started? See, learning is very much important. That if you have the right resources, you have the right tools, it's very much important that you invest your time, you invest effort to doing this. Now, I know you have been asking questions. How can you be able to take your learning further? So I have been able to create a course that can help you, take you from a basic level, from a rudimentary level in any of these packages to intermediate level, and you'll be very proud of yourself as what you have achieved. A very exhaustive curriculum, right? So for instance, this is this Excel, what will be covered, right? And it assumes zero base level knowledge. So we're able to take you from the basic level to intermediate level, from the very rudiments. So a 4 module course in Excel, right? So this is the summary where you are going to be learning about Excel and all how you can be able to do data entries and formatting. And this is the detailed breakdown of everything. You are going to be learning about Excel formulas and functions, right? All those pivot charts we talked about, interactive dashboard, you are going to be learning all of them, right? And also, yeah, now this is module 2, very detailed. You learn about VLOOKUPs, what if functions, and all of those things that are usually challenging for many people. So you learn also about visual data visualization. All of this, every single thing here has been covered exhaustively in a very detailed course, right? Then also you are going to be learning how to apply the knowledge to data analysis, right? You can see here I will show you how you can be able to perform descriptive analysis in Excel, and also inferential analysis in Excel using a data analysis tool pack. So it's a very exhaustive course curriculum, right, that you definitely be proud of yourself if you go for it. Then for Power BI as well, now there is a course that have a 4 module course that has been created by Kennex Edu that will help you to learn Power BI as well. So in module 1, we are going to be showing you what Power BI, why Power BI is important. Power BI is a tool for analytics, right? How you can connect to different data sources, all the different Power BI products that are available, and how you can be able to utilize them. Then we should show you how to cleanse and transform your data in Power BI. We show you how to visualize and create wonderful reports, amazing reports in Power BI. And also remember, I made mention of DAX, right? For many people, DAX can be very challenging. So I'm going to be showing you DAX and all of this. Each module you are going to have practical hands-on. You are going to have assignments to work on, practical hands-on, and then you have opportunity to send in this assignment, and then it's going to be reviewed by one of our tutors for you, right? This is not the kind of thing you can get on certain platforms whereby review is not available, right? So then again, for SPSS, we also have a very detailed course curriculum for you. Now this is the course breakdown. Now SPSS has been grouped into 7 different modules, right? 7 different modules, very exhaustive, talking about research, right? From there, why do you learn about research, right? So you are not just learning about these tools, but you are also having an understanding of concept, because I always say something that these tools, these softwares are just tools that helps your work, but the main thing there is that there are certain foundational understanding that you need to know, right? Many people lack in those understanding of concept, and is usually problematic. So we talk about the different concept that you need to understand, and then we'll do a deep dive into SPSS, understanding all of SPSS windows, how to transform data, right, and the statistical analysis and all the different statistical analysis you can be able to do. And like I said, this is a very exhaustive and immersive course curriculum for you. Right now, I'm going to head back to my presentation. Now I know you have been asking what is in the course for me, right? And I'm going to quickly show you what's in the course for you. Now firstly is it assumes zero base level knowledge. So regardless of whatever, even if you are zero, you don't know anything in any of this package, we're able to take you from that zero level to a level where you are going to be proud of, based on the curriculum that I've just showed you. And then you have practical hands-on. Now you have practical hands-on tasks and exercises and assignments to work on, and once you deliver on these assignments, you send in the assignments for review, and it's going to be reviewed. And then also, if you want to get the certificates, you can also get 3 proficiency certificates for all of these 3 different packages, which you are going to be having access to. Right now, when you successfully complete all the courses, so you do all of the assignments, you send in the reviews, and you get your feedback, you're going to get 3 certificates for each of these different packages. And then again, what is in the course for you now is you have an opportunity to to boost your CV, and it increases your employability. Imagine that you list those three packages and you are very good, you are very proficient at them. It's going to boost your chances a lot, right? And then also you can start a freelancing gig. So you can open up a Fiverr platform, and then you are providing the, data analysis services, Excel services, Power BI services to people, that people bring Power BI related tasks for you. You do it and you charge them a fee, right? So this is an investment that you are definitely going to be proud that you made. And yes, there are more benefits. So more benefits is that you have lifetime access to the course, right? So all the courses, the course materials, the content, you have a lifetime access to it. And then also, in order to provide support, right? Now, in order to provide support to you, we have a community where you are going to be able to network with other people that have taken our courses in the past, and they were able to provide real-time feedbacks. Maybe you're having a challenge in the course, you can ask your questions on those community, and somebody will be there to answer your questions in real time. You won't have that on certain other platforms, right? And that community is going to be on WhatsApp, right? And there will also provide helpful resources like job alerts that are related, right? Now also you have access to other resources like some ebooks that will be provided to you. These are courses that worth a lot, but you are going to be having them for free. Now also you have the opportunity to join my periodic live classes. So sometimes I do have live classes just to interact with my students and get to give new information beyond what has been covered in the course, so that we have that kind of interaction. And you can also ask me questions and you get real-time feedback. So it's not like alone something that you are left alone to figure it out. Not at all, right? So now you are wondering, do we really know what we are saying? Yes, a lot of people have taken my courses in the past and the results has been tremendous. So I'm just going to show you just a few of them. Now this is Dr. Collins. Dr. Collins now took one our research and data analysis course with SPSS, and with that he was able to turn his PhD around. That out of his PhD data set before that he just dumped because of lack of the knowledge, he was able to publish over 3 other papers. So this will be very interesting for those of you in the academic world that you want to advance in your academic career by the amount of your research output. Now this is Frank. Now Frank took the Power BI course and he also took the SPSS course, and this is what Frank has to say, that that we are the shop log, right? So these are live testimonials. You can see the people's name, and then it's also on our website as well. Now this is Victor. Victor also took the SPSS course, right? And this is what Victor has to say. Now this is Alfred. Right, Alfred took the Power BI course, he took the SPSS course as well, and this is what Alfred has to say. These are live testimonies. Now this is a message. Now this particular message is a message from Henry. Now Henry started out taking these courses and he had little or no knowledge about these packages, and he started with us, took SPSS courses, Power BI courses, learned Excel courses, and with that Henry was able to get a job as a data analyst in a commodities trading, a top commodities trading firm in the north, right? And these are messages from the community. This is not Henry's message, this message from the community, that how can you impact us with knowledge and ideas and still thanking us. You inspire me really, right? So he didn't have technical background about all these different packages, but the course opened his mind. His course opened his mind so much. Now these are my responses to questions that are coming from the community, just to tell you that I support, right? Now this is that we provide this support real time. Now I never knew there is a way we could use chi-square to evaluate blah blah blah, and this is how I responded to the question, and they're able to say wow, and they are so grateful. So you are not going to be left alone throughout you taking this course. You are going to be supported all along, and you are definitely going to be very, very glad, right? You are going to be very, very glad that you did. You are going to get support, the knowledge that you require, right? Good. So now, normally the cost of the course. So you see, normally SPSS as a single package goes for 10,000 naira, right? Now Excel as a single package goes for 15,000 naira. Now Power BI is a single package, goes for 25,000 naira. But this time around, that means the total worth of these courses is 50,000 naira. But because we are giving this course, we want to help more people to acquire these skills. So we are giving you the opportunity to have all these different 3 courses with at a very low discount that you are seeing on your screen, right? The discount that you are seeing on your screen is only available for you if you decide to take action this month, right? If you take action this month, you have access to the discount and you don't have to pay 50,000 naira. So it's not something you have to sleep on. These are in demand packages that cost a lot, right? But you are going to be learning them for little to nothing. So what you just need to do now, below this video you are watching, use the link to grab the offer now before it's too late. So what will be your journey be like? So the first thing is that you use the seller link below to make your payment, and once you make your payment, right, after purchase, seller is going to redirect you to a link to where you are going to download the course. Now this is what it's going to look like. Now when you get the link, when you get the link, you are going to see all the different folders that have been opened for you. So you learn Excel, you see all the different modules. This module 1, this module 2, module 3, this module 4, all of them has been zipped. So all you just need to do is to download them to your system. All of them are fully downloadable. You download them to your device, and once you download them to your device, you can start learning, right? So this, you go to learn Power BI, right? So you see all the module 1, module 2, module 3, module 4, and the brochure as well. Then the same thing for SPSS. Now SPSS, all 7 modules, all of them are zipped files and their curriculum. All you just need to do is to download the files with your system into your system, and once they are downloaded into your system, they are going to look like this. You download them and unzip, they are going to look like this. So you go to learn Excel, you see that all the different modules will be here for you. You see all the different modules will be here for you. So you open module 1, you see all the different course content. You see entering data, navigating Excel, formatting Excel, recap of an exercises. So it's a fully immersive program, and all your exercise files, all your assignment and data sets, you find them here arranged, right? And then also this is, you go for Power BI. Now if you open Power BI, you see coursework, right? The PDFs, everything has been made available for you. Then, and also you go to the videos, you see all the different videos, and you have access to the data files, right? The data files, the practice files, and the instructions that you are supposed to follow. Everything fully exhaustive, guys, fully exhaustive. This is a big offer that you shouldn't miss out. Then this is SPSS. You see module 1, everything has been arranged for you. The course curriculum, you go to let's say you go to module 4, you see the different course content, and then you see the module assignments, right? So it's a very massive program. This is module 5, same here. You see the course, the assignment, you see all the different videos, right? And these videos are very detailed, guys. This is a queue. This is a queue that you cannot be able to miss out on. So that is it. So once you download your class materials, once you're able to download your class materials, then right now, once you download your class materials, you go to seller. So sorry, pay through seller. Now you can pay through seller, or you can do a direct bank transfer. So you use the link that you are seeing, the discount that you are currently seeing on your screen, right? Because the discount can vary. So use the discount that you are seeing now on your screen and take action. So you can decide to pay through seller, right? Or sometimes if you have any issues paying through seller, you can make a direct bank transfer to Kennex AD, and once you make the bank transfer, you send a proof of payment to Kennex AD email, or you send the proof of payment to this is our WhatsApp line, right? So this WhatsApp, so I'm going to highlight this. Now I'm going to highlight this. So you can send the proof of payment. So once you send the proof of payment, you are going to get the link, right? But if you do that through seller, everything happens automatically. It moves you to the link where you are going to access the course. So with this, I say thank you. Now, if you want further inquiries, you can send a mail to kenixedu@gmail.com, and we'll be very, very glad to attend to you. Thank you very much, and take action now. Take action now. I remember Miracle Naji, the founder of Kenix Edu, giving you this awoof.